Georgy Subgun's submachine gun, adopted by the Soviet military as the PPSh-41, is the quintessential Soviet subgun. Degtyaryov's PPD-40 was heavy, it was machine steel, and it took a lot of time to produce considering, and it was expensive. Where Subgun's was stamped steel, and it was easy to produce, and it was very robust. Now, whenever the PPSh-41 was accepted into service, the Soviet military was in bad need of subguns. The PPD-40 took basically 14 hours to produce, and whenever the PPSh-41 went into production, it was running about seven and a half hours to produce. So it pretty much cut the production time in half, so you could get a lot more guns out to a military that was really needing it. And they were also cheaper to produce too, since they were stamped versus machined steel. Now, whenever Sudiev's PPS-43 came on, that gun was produced in about 2.5 to 3 hours. So you can see how the production was scaling up, and they were refining their production techniques during the war. Now, the PPD-40 only saw about 90,000 units produced. The PPS-41 was at the time, and may still be, the most mass-produced subgun of all time, which had around 6 million units produced from 1941 to the end of production in 1947. And the PPS-43 was around 2 to 3 million units. So this saw a lot of use during World War II. Let's take a look at this real quick. Now, the PPSh-41 is chambered in 7.62 Tokarev or 7.62 by 25, same as what Degtyaryov's PPD-40 was chambered in, as well as the TT-30 and TT-33 pistols. Now, this has a 71 round drum magazine, and later on it would have a 35 round stick magazine. To remove the mag, just pull this little catch down right here, push that, and then that comes out. Now, this was really designed for a conscript army. It was simple and it was easy to use, and it was a great gun. Now, field stripping, push forward on this catch right here at the back of your receiver, raise this up, pull your bolt back, and your recoil spring, buffer, and bolt all come out in the same package. Now, if you'll notice, this one right here has a replacement buffer. The originals would have been a fibrous material. Your recoil spring comes out. Now, this is a open bolt subgun. Your firing pin is made into your bolt, and your extractor is at the top. Ejection is out of the top instead of out of the side. Now, these things were pretty much a bullet hose, whereas your German MP40s were running around 600, 650 rounds a minute, ready to fire. These were around 900 to 1,000. I mean, they just sprayed the bullets out there. Now, reassembly is very simple and straightforward. Take your guide rod and recoil spring, put it into the back of your bolt. You will put your buffer in back here. Drop your bolt in. Make sure that your buffer's at the back, and close your receiver, and that's that. Now, PPSh-41 is an open bolt submachine gun, and is also select fire, unlike Sudiev's PPS-43, which was supposed to replace the PPSh-41. Now, we do have your selector down here, which basically you'd have your bolt right here at the back. Semi-auto is towards the rear, and full auto is at the front. Now, this also does have a safety right here. Push this in, and this locks your bolt into the receiver. You can lock it in the rear position as well as the forward position. Now, what this does is this keeps the bolt from bouncing back. With the open bolt subgun, if you drop this on the butt, the bolt will have enough inertia that it will a lot of times come all the way back just enough to strip a round off, and then they'll fire the round whenever it goes into the battery without pulling the trigger. So as long as you have that lock in, that will eliminate that. Now, if you notice, the barrel stops about right here instead of going all the way out to the end. That's because this right here is a muzzle brake. You have a port on the left and right side of the receiver as well as the top, and this controls the rise with such a high rate of fire. But this is a super great subgun. These are great shooters and have pretty much stood the test of time. Now, this is a 1942 produced PPSh-41. and you'll see the letter C up here on your receiver. This is actually a S in the Cyrillic alphabet, and this was produced in Moscow at one of the several plants there at the time. Now this is a very cool piece of World War II history that we have here at Rock Island Auction. And you can check out the many other items that will be here at Rock Island. Subguns, revolvers, you name it, we've got it. If there's anything that you'd like to see us kind of feature on our videos, let us know. And while you're at it, be sure to like and subscribe so you can catch our latest on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Thanks for watching.